Hi, it's the 12th of June 2018. I thought I'd better do a video diary. It's been a while. I think it was the last steering group, the last time I did one. And that was back in May. What have we been up to? Well, loads. I'm afraid I've got some notes so I could do. So, obviously, we've created a web page, which you're probably viewing this on a social media channel, which is linked to on this. So, that's going to be quite good because it's going to distribute to you guys. One of the ideas we've had is that we use, certainly in September, 'cause it's a bit late in the year now, that we use the social media journalism students we have to help document and do like a story on this. Speaking of which, the college has now done a press release that's been picked up by some national papers about this project, which is good. So it's encouraging to see some support going out there. We've set up the curriculum subgroup, so that obviously came out of talks with Sharon, and we just thought it would be a good idea, obviously, so that the entire delivery team is not at each steering group meeting. So my colleague Len is going to head up on that because he's got this sort of the looking after the teaching, learning and assessment aspects of this. So we had a quick meeting, well, not like an hour meeting yesterday, to discuss what the actions are for that. So that sort of divvied some jobs out, and we're going to invite our partners into that. Myself and Simon were at Cumbria University for their end of year show, so that we could also speak to some of the staff about their collaboration as one of our education partners. So Katie, who's the head of their games design BA course, has agreed to be on the curriculum team for that as well. So that's really good. So that's going to be useful to have her input for the HE curriculum side of things. Speaking of education partners as well, obviously we are looking, well not obviously, but we're looking at Belfast Met. Melanie Shee from Creative Skills introduced us to her counterpart in Northern Ireland. And Simon's made contact, so we're just sort of preliminary putting together a visit so that we can go see their incubation studio and how they set that up. It's slightly different to the one we're looking at, as in theirs would be for actual alumni rather than for their current student body. We also finally sorted out the cover for myself. So obviously it's been quite a large amount of work to do, and even though we had the funding, just because of the way the wheels turn, it's taken a while to actually get somebody specifically in post for the curriculum leader aspect of my job. The teaching was covered almost instantaneously, but the CL, so we interviewed last week, and my colleague Heather has been promoted, so that's going to be fun working with her, and sort of finally being able to get some help with that will be quite good. So that's quite good. One of the major sort of, I suppose, milestones is obviously the digital T-level outline content brief became available a couple of weeks ago with a very, very short turnaround for basically the entire sector to respond to that, which I think is a little bit, I don't understand the reason behind that. Apparently originally it was only going to be 5 days, and they extended it to like basically over half term as well. I'm not sure how meaningful they wanted the consultation on that. But yeah, we've responded to that. One of the things it does read preliminarily, obviously, we're going to spend some time thoroughly investigating it. We're a little disappointed with the content. It reads as a very computer science, traditional computing route, which wouldn't really suit the games industry, which is a little disheartening considering how many billions of pounds the games industry is worth, and you know that it's one of the fastest growing areas in creative tech, and as the creative sector's like getting on for £100 billion pound industry in the UK, it was a little disappointing to see that. So obviously with games design, it's not just about the back end hardcore computing side. A lot of it's to do with the artwork and animation and sound and all that, and the T-level looked a little scary. So that'll be interesting. It is actually, because we are one of the pilot colleges. I don't know if we're a pilot college, but we're one of the first 50 colleges to be selected. But it's been decided that our computing colleagues will run the first cohort. One of the other projects the college has been selected for is to trial the substantive work placement. So obviously that's going to be kept separate from this project, but one of the good things about that is our level 3 game students, there's a small cohort of them, about one of our groups has been selected so that we can basically trial to see how the substantive work placement would work for them, which will be interesting to see, because obviously even though they're separate projects, we'll be able to maybe feed some of the data and research out of that into our own program, which would be really good. So yes, that's fine. One of the things we're looking for is another FE partner, because obviously we need to get up to our target. So I was going to contact, I haven't yet, but I'm going to contact one of my colleagues at Middlesbrough College. I was on a validation panel for their Access to HE and Games Design qual. And what they were doing with their HE students, it sounds like it could be quite interesting. I think it could be a good information share there, so I'm going to see if I can get in contact with them and see if they wish to come on board with it. I'm just double checking my little list here. So yes, there's like a lot. I do think we're making some quite good progress. We're also rapidly exploring the new Pearson qual route for the access, not the access, should I say that, because I've just said access, for the higher education route, for the High National Diploma, the new Creative Media Production and Technology spec for that actually has a games dev route, that's a dedicated route, so that looks very promising in what we can do, and it's been kept sort of general enough that we can customise it to our own needs. So that's something we can look at as part of the incubation project, or what could be the incubation project. And Proto itself, which is the Emerging Tech Centre, and one of our partners, opens towards the end of this month, so it'll be interesting to actually get in there and see what the space would look like, as that is one of the contenders for if we did set up the studio where it would be located, so that'll be quite interesting to see. I think my colleague Len is going to do one of these, which I'll post on site soon from a curriculum point of view, and Simon, the overall project manager, is going to have a go at doing this, although reluctantly. So I'm hoping we get used to doing these. That's me. I will do another one of these hopefully before the next steering group, which is on the 13th of July. One last thing, my colleague John has also contacted ESPA, our partners who are specialists in working with students with autism, and we're going to arrange some CPD, which we've already started inviting our educational partners to, so we've got some formalised CPD regarding working with students with autistic, on the autistic spectrum. So that'll be great. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.